gonna make this in a couple parts. So the concept behind this is using the Launchpad Mini powered by the Move, so it needs no external power or anything, because the Move has a MIDI port that outputs, I believe, 7.5 watts. So the concept here is to be able to control all of the chops, which is 100, I would at least say this 128 chops on the Move, without the weird isomorphic pad configuration that like you see here, right? So notes duplicate 1, 2, 3, as you can see there's duplications, then 1, 2, 3, then there's, so really there's only like 2 notes besides the first one. There's 2 notes that don't double every row. So in a pad layout of 32, you only end up with 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, technically 14 usable chops out of 32. That's such a waste to me, right? So using the customizing software for the Ableton Launchpads, which is like a web interface for the Mk3 variant, I was able to build a custom mapping that maps pretty much C, I believe it's C1 because it's octave 1 C, so C1 all the way through, like, I think this quadrant was 5 octaves up, and that kind of is how it lays out, so there's no duplications. I got to change some of the notes for this quadrant and this quadrant. Like I had to change the starting note, so there was no duplications. But I'll show you that once we hook it up here next. So when you plug your Launchpad in, and you want to make sure you have the USB-C one, you plug it in here and it'll load up. This is kind of the configuration I made. I did change one thing on my preset that isn't in the preset that I shared on Discord right now, and that's that when you press a button, it's red, so you kind of know where you are. But you can already see right now, I'm controlling the Launchpad. I'm controlling the Move using the Launchpad, but I made it so that pretty much right here, as you can see, there's duplicates here on the Move, but there's not, it won't play duplicates. You know, like this is just one note, even though it shows up on 2 pads. It only has one voice of polyphony. So here, 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 and I could do that all the way up for 128 chops. So pretty much now, if I wanted to sample, right, so shift, volume, and star, as we all know, scroll down to wave edit, enter, and wave edit, I can do new file, and I have web stream rolling right now, so I could just go ahead and copy recording. So I'll just hit record, and then it stays rolling, so we'll let that record some. Same concept. Once you have a sample and you got something that you like, you can use the wave editor to apply your chops. So the capture mode switches you to the slice mode, and shout out to Charles and Squad. They implemented my easy chop, or lazy chop, so I pretty much use lazy chop to add all my slice points. Right now, this is gonna stay what it is. So you do your chopping just right here natively on the Move. Super easy. You just press this red pad and add slice points. So then once you have your slices, which I tried to do, I got 15 of them. So it's not even that crazy long. I could use the OG sampler in the Move if I wanted to with this, but me, I like the Rex. So from here, I hit record. You can adjust the name as you already know. So just to do it quick, we'll use the scroll, delete. We'll call this pimp, because I'm pimping. Hit OK. Then you save it as a Rex loop. Then I've learned that if I get Rex failed, which happens sometimes, right now we're opening a bug about that, you just hit record again. I save it as a drum preset, which worked. And then from here, I hit record, and then I save it as a Rex loop, which saved it to Rex loops. Looks like it didn't save my name, so that's also a new bug, which is fine. This is all internal. We should also have it to where we can press and hold and it'll do like a fast delete. I think that would be like a scrolling delete. I think that would be super neat to have. So I'll rename this pimp again, hit OK. And then I'm gonna export this as a Rex, saved as a Rex loop, no problem. All right, cool. So from here, we back on out. Then you already know, shift, volume, your track, go to your synth, add a Rex player. In the Rex player, we got pimp. So as you notice, pimp starts on 36. So from what I've learned, that's C1. From here, I should be able to make sure I'm selected on my track, because if you have all of your tracks, I'll back out here a little bit. If you have all of your tracks for MIDI in set to auto, and you have none of them on channel 3, like for MIDI in, the way the Launchpad and the Move work, it seems like if you have all your tracks set to auto, it'll capture pretty much any input that you're from MIDI devices for the track that you're on. Obviously, if you set like this is to channel 3 and I set my input, my MIDI in on my track to channel 3, it'll only, you know, grab from channel 3, which is great if you don't want to maybe jump around to whatever track you're on to make that work. Okay, so now that I'm on my sampler, my Launchpad is live. I've loaded the Rex player on track 2. Rex player is loaded. It has my sample pimp. If I press it, you can see it starts right there, and you can see this is the 3 before, so it starts on C1. And I always make sure I go into my menu and turn on choke. I think it would be dope to have choke on off jump, but I'm just shooting ideas here, you know what I mean, while I'm also talking. Like choke on by default would be nice. I'm gonna come up here and to track 1 and remove my web stream because I have my drums on track 1. So shift click and none. So okay. So now if I come over here, once again re-highlight it on my Move, I'm on track 2. Basically from here all the way up should be all my chops. So I got 15. So there you go. So now from here, I should, in theory, be able to record a pattern. So let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And boom, there we go. Make sure your loop is set to your 8 bars. And you can see track representation. No matter what track you're on, it's tied to it, so that's cool. Mission accomplished. 128 chops within the Move. No extra power needed. Just a Launchpad. Peace.